I want you to listen to Cory Booker. This guy was mayor of Newark. He was considered sort of a moderate guy, but now he wants to be president. In order to be president, he needs to be nominated by the Democrat Party, and the Democrat Party is nuts. That is, the leadership is. I want you to listen to this man, and he reflects a big percentage of the population now because of a lack of assimilation, improper education that tears down our principles and tears down our history. Here's Cory Booker at the National Action Network. Now, this is Al Sharpton's group. So Al Sharpton, who has a horrific history of racism and anti-Semitism, certainly in his past. Al Sharpton, the National Action Network. I thought Al Sharpton was a host at MSNBC. Is he still a host, Mr. Producer? But he's a weekend host, right? Well, how come the media don't attack him for getting involved in politics? How come they attack conservatives at Fox or elsewhere? You can't get involved in politics. We're a news operation. Well, isn't MSNBC a news operation? How come they're not attacking Sharpton? Oh, no, I forgot. They're leftists. Here's Cory Booker at the National Action Network, Al Sharpton's conference today. I want you to listen to this. This man wants to be your president. Cut one, go.
And I believe this, if this country hasn't broken your heart, you don't love her enough. No. You don't love her enough. Because there is injustice.
If this country hasn't broken your heart, you don't love her enough. I mean, the stuff that these leftists will say about this country, this magnificent country, the greatest country really ever established by mankind, the most beneficent, the freest, the wealthiest for all people. If this country hasn't broken your heart, you don't love it enough. So it's a moral imperative to trash your country or you don't love it enough. Go ahead.
Yes. And this is an organization that's formed not because everything's going right, but because there is injustice in our midst. This is a group of folks, like Americans I've met all over this country, who are dissatisfied. Yes. We are dissatisfied because we live in a country right now where in many communities, kids can find unleaded gasoline easier than unleaded water. Yes. We are dissatisfied because we live in a nation that has a criminal justice system that treats you better if you're rich and guilty than poor and innocent.
See, this is why we have a huge problem in this country. When you have a political party that just keeps tearing the country apart, balkanizes the nation, tribalizes the nation, doesn't talk up the magnificence of this society and this culture, but is constantly attacking it. Nobody said the country's perfect, but it's a great country, and it's the most perfect on the face of the earth. I know this because millions of people want to come here, and nobody wants to leave. But to hear somebody like this, an elected senator of the United States, and he's not alone. There's 20 or 30 of them lined up who are of the same mindset and will say the same thing. We all know he's a liar. We all know this is not the America that we live in. And yet he goes on and on and on. And this criminal justice reform, quote unquote, plays into this mentality. It plays into this mentality. Go ahead.
We are dissatisfied because we live in a nation right now that pays teachers so little that they have to get extra jobs just to make ends meet. We are dissatisfied in this country because on blocks like mine, where a young man was murdered with an assault weapon.
Speak, brother.
We are dissatisfied because we're not even doing the common sense things to make our communities safer that 90% of Americans agree we should do.
I have no idea what he's talking about. And neither does he. And neither does he. Just pushes hot buttons. I don't know how we're going to become a civil society or retain our civil society. I don't know how when we have people like this on the hard left And he's not alone. Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, right down the list, who talk like the most radical Marxist leftists overseas about America. Our enemies talk about America this way. When you listen to Cory Booker, he's a propagandist for the Red Chinese. He's a propagandist for the fascist Putin regime. He's a propagandist for the Islamo-Nazi regime in Tehran, the Iranian regime. They love what he's saying. And I'm sure they repeat it all over the place. It is disgusting. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin.